Hi, I'm Jason Gore for ThatShelf.com, and we're here to talk about Emily the Criminal.
Shelf.
So Emily the Criminal is directed by John Patton Ford. It's really sort of headlined, produced by, the main special effect is Aubrey Plaza, who I adore, especially when she does Sundance stuff. I had a pleasure of speaking with her a couple years ago at Sundance, and she's just such a smart, committed, incredibly cinephilic, really, really interesting actor, producer, somebody who showcases really interesting stories. And I know she's got a gazillion fans, but in a funny way, I think that we sort of underappreciate her and underappreciate her skills, if that's at all possible. She sort of floats along as this sort of indie darling, but I think that she's deserving of much more attention than she gets for that or for any of her television work, frankly. It co-stars Theo Rossi, who's fantastic in this film. It's wonderful to see Gina Gershon show up in a very brief scene. Jonathan Avgdori, who's a relatively unknown performer, but he's absolutely critical in this. And Megan Echukunwoke. Forgive me if I butchered her name, but she's also great. Really nice dynamic as one of the friends. The way that the dynamic plays out is that you have a woman who's struggling with a record, and not struggling with a record, but she has a criminal record which is preventing her from getting some of the employment that she would actually like. She's working essentially in a catering house, and somebody gives her a note about potentially going in and being part of what ends up being a credit card scam. You go and you purchase things on fake credit cards, you give it to the person who gave you the card, and they give you a couple $100. It escalates from there. It becomes this sort of crime thriller, her sort of building up her own business, the dynamic that she has with her partner, and eventually into sort of a much grander revenge thriller. But it's every moment escalates in these sort of really cool and intense ways that it's a real delight to watch. And Aubrey Plaza's ferocity and intensity, and yet warmth and vulnerability that she's able to pull off, it's an incredible magic trick, and she is so good with it. The dynamic that she has with Rossi is fantastic. I think that the two of them sort of play, the change of power dynamics of the two of them is a core for so much of the story. There's moments of great tension, there's moments of great warmth and kindness, and even vulnerability, all at play here, all in sort of one a grand narrative. The way it plays out is, again, it feels contained and constrained, but in a good way. It feels like it's doing exactly what it needs to do to actually get its elements across. Not the greatest film of this season, but certainly something that's not only thoroughly enjoyable, but you actually get to see some really extraordinary performances at the top of their game, just giving us everything from ringing the best version of this story I think that we're going to get. The dynamic feels very believable. It feels almost documentary at moments, the way that it sort of plays out. You kind of understand how she would be responding in these particular circumstances when things sort of come at her. She doesn't fold, but she also doesn't become some superhero. She's just reacting the way that a survivor needs to react, and it's that survivor instinct, that sort of tenacity that is so critical to her response as a character that I think is the greatest charm of this entire film. So there we are. Please let us know when you get a chance to see the film. Let us know in the comments what you thought of it. Please like, subscribe, follow us on social media, and we will see you next video. All the best. Take care.